Caseus, Jedi Apprentice. Chapter 2. Caseus spent the rest of the afternoon enjoying the serenity of the setting sun over the tall buildings on the horizon.
Looks to me like you're slacking. Guess someone doesn't want to become a Jedi.
Caseus smiled. He knew the voice. It might interest you to know, Corbyn, that I finished my training for today. I think I've earned a bit of downtime. Caseus stood up, turning to his friend, Corbyn Roth. Caseus and Corbyn had always been close. They practically grew up in the temple, placed into the same clan as younglings. Even after they were selected by masters, they tried to stay in touch as often as possible. Corbyn was a true prodigy if Caseus had ever seen one. Athletically built, with a natural talent in combat. He seemed to be the poster child for what a Jedi should be. At least that's how Caseus saw it.
So, how's your training going?
Fine. Master Takai sent me on a few missions. Nothing too extreme. Usually I'm just observing while she does all the important stuff.
Same here. Although Master Terran tends to have a more learning-by-doing approach when it comes to border disputes. Just got back from a fairly nasty situation in the Corva sector.
Corva? Seems a bit far out from Republic jurisdiction. Corbyn sat beside his friend, taking in the view alongside him.
Well, Republic jurisdiction is a bit murky out there. Some of them want to remain, some of them want to leave. Hence the dispute. But that's all just politics. What about you? Anything interesting happened lately?
Well, if Master Takai is right, I impressed Master Drollig in a sparring session with his student.
He knows you fight like a one-legged womp rat, right?
Shut up. For the record, I almost beat her too.
Wait, her? Ooh, that's gotta be embarrassing.
But look who's talking, Corbyn. I think it was you who got eliminated first by a girl in the initiate tournament.
True. But I was a kid. I wasn't as strong as I am now.
Strength only gets you so far if your brain is full of Tabana gas. The two Padawans chuckled at the remark. As thick-headed as Corbyn was, Caseus couldn't think of anyone else who he could really talk with. His schedule didn't leave a lot of time for socializing after all.
Well, I'll let you get back to your daydreaming. See you around, Caseus.
Sure thing. May the Force be with you. With that, the two friends parted, the sun now almost completely missing from the sky. Standing up and giving one last glance to the city, Caseus walked back inside. He figured it would be best to get an early start. That is if he wanted his master to stop pestering him about his tardiness. Walking up the steps to his room, he noticed something. A letter on his door. Training grounds. Tonight after sundown. Caseus looked for a signature, but found nothing but what was written. It didn't seem like a letter his master would leave. She usually communicated in person. Any master or teacher would definitely have at least left a name or a more detailed message. He had his suspicions, but Caseus felt it might be worth visiting the training grounds, if only to confirm his theory. Waiting in his quarters, he watched as the last pale hint of sunlight faded from the sky, leaving only vague silhouettes of distant towers under a starry night sky. All right, let's see what this is all about. Grabbing his weapon, Caseus made his way down the stairs and silently crept out into the training grounds. Empty. Silent only for the occasional chirp of a nocturnal insect in the gardens, and the distant hum of speeders.
Good. You decided to show up.
Caseus turned around. It was Sarah, standing by the dueling circle with that same unamused disposition he had seen earlier. Sarah, right? I'm pretty sure you know that we aren't supposed to be out after dark.
Then maybe you should pipe down and listen. That duel earlier was a fluke. I had you beat 10 seconds in.
You won that duel. I'm not sure what you're so upset about.
You made me look bad in front of my master. Until I fought you, I've been easily taking down every opponent I've been put up against.
What's your point exactly? Did you just call me out here to complain? I think that could have waited until tomorrow.
I called you here to tell you that Master Drollig is considering recruiting you for his advanced classes.
Caseus was taken aback by this news. What? I thought I looked like a fool in front of him. He wants me for his advanced class?
Don't get your hopes up. The advanced classes aren't something you just walk into. You have to pass a set of tests to prove yourself. And from what I saw in our fight, I don't think you have what it takes.
I thought you said I made you look bad. What? Are you afraid Master Drollig will have a new top student? Sarah gripped her lightsaber.
If you're so sure of yourself, come and test your skill.
No thanks. I'd rather not get in trouble for fighting outside of regulated training sessions.
Oh, I see. You're scared. You afraid I'll humiliate you again?
Caseus took a deep breath, trying to maintain composure. Master Takai taught me that defeat is rarely without silver lining. I don't feel I need to prove anything to you.
Defeat is defeat. There is no silver lining when your opponent stands victorious. Sounds like your master is setting you up to be soft.
That remark made Caseus' blood run hot. That was a step too far. Grabbing his lightsaber, he stepped across from Sarah into the dueling circle. Let's make this quick. The two Jedi ignited their weapons, green light illuminating the darkness.
Trust me, this won't take long.
Sarah lunged, striking at Caseus, who brought his blade up in defense, using her momentum to shift her blade away. Caseus stayed on guard, knowing deep down that he was outmatched. Sarah began striking with a flurry of swings, each one faster than before. Caseus knew he had to gain distance. Leaping from the air on top of the obstacle course, Caseus held his saber at the ready.
You left the dueling circle.
My feet haven't touched the ground. Besides, I think we both know this isn't a sanctioned duel. Sarah leapt onto the obstacle course, ready to continue the duel. Blades sparked as each strike created a bright flash that briefly illuminated the surrounding area. Caseus was running out of footing. He looked below and saw a balance beam. Leaping below, almost falling, Caseus landed and regained balance just as Sarah jumped down as well. I thought you said this was going to be quick. You slipping or something? At that remark, Sarah flew at Caseus, striking at his feet, causing Caseus to leap back, avoiding her attacks, nearly losing his balance. Suddenly, Caseus spotted his opening. Sarah's foot was positioned poorly on the balance beam. Calling upon the Force, Caseus removed the end support to the beam, causing the balance beam to collapse at one end, sending Sarah tumbling back. Caseus rushed towards her, only for his weapon to be pulled from his hand by an unseen force. Sarah's weapon also flew from her hand. Both weapons now held in the waiting hands of Master Takai and Master Dralik, neither appearing at all pleased.
Care to explain yourselves, Padawans?
You two better have an explanation for violating curfew and engaging in an unauthorized duel.
The two Padawans stood, unsure of what to say.
Sarah, what were you doing out here past curfew?
I'm sorry, Master.
It was my fault, Master, Caseus chimed in. I was upset that I lost our duel. I wanted a rematch and things got out of hand.
Perhaps I misjudged you, Caseus. Your actions have shown a lack of discipline and maturity. As for you, Sarah, we will discuss this in the morning.
Yes, Master. Please forgive me.
With that, Master Dralik escorted Sarah away from the training grounds, as Caseus turned to go to his quarters.
Not so fast, Padawan. I'd like a word with you.
Caseus grimaced. He was already tired and completely unsure why he took the blame for Sarah's actions. The last thing he wanted was a lecture. Yes, Master?
Caseus, you're smarter than this. I know you were upset at losing that duel, but I'm quite certain you did not instigate this fight.
I might as well have. She said some things and I let her words get to me.
And why did you not tell Master Dralik?
Caseus struggled to think. Why did he take the blame? I don't know. I guess I figured I already messed up my chances at entering Master Dralik's advanced lessons. I didn't want her to lose that opportunity too.
Perhaps she deserves to lose that privilege. After all, you didn't start this engagement.
She made a mistake. She just got a bit too caught up in her own pride. And you told me that every mistake is a lesson learned. Maybe she'll learn something from this. Master Takai smiled, handing Caseus back his lightsaber.
I'm pleased to see that not everything I've taught you is going in one ear and out the other. That was quite mature. But try not to make a habit of taking the blame. Now off to bed. We can discuss your consequences in the morning.
Yes, Master.
By the way, that was quite resourceful, collapsing the beam to shake her footing.
Wait, you were watching?
For a little bit. But again, let's not make a habit of this.
Caseus bowed and returned to his quarters. After everything that happened, he was definitely ready for a full night's rest.